Blackhawk fans, what's up? Andy Campbell here with Sean Fitzgerald and Jimmy O'Malley, Season 9, Episode 27, the highly anticipated debut of Anton Frondell. And Sacha Boisvert as well might be debuting on Tuesday night, but Frondell's the hot ticket, folks. The Chicago Blackhawks 2025 first round, third overall draft pick, second forward taken in the draft, Anton Frondell, who's had a monster of a season as an 18-year-old playing in the Swedish Elite League, is Chicago bound. He's coming in. We're fired up. This could be the next phase. This is the hottest prospect since Connor Bedard to put on a Blackhawk sweater. No pressure, kid. But at the same time, he's earned his stripes. He's got a lot of energy. He's ready to go. Jimmy, how fired up are you about this?
Oh, extremely. This kid, as we've seen, has broken, has reached milestones for an 18-year-old that hasn't been seen in the SHL in like 2 decades since the Sedin twins. And he's played continuously well as the season has progressed. While I think for Blackhawks fans, there have been frustrations with Drew Gardens scratching him or putting him on the third, fourth line, and sometimes making him the 13th forward. Yet he still produces consistently. He had 20 goals this season. Playoffs, he had 2 points in 3 games, although they lost. Their loss is the Blackhawks gain because we get him a little bit earlier. We can get him for the final dozen games, which is going to be very exciting. And by all accounts, Jeff Blashill seems to be saying, yeah, he's going on the first line with Bedard. We know he's talented, and we're going to throw him in the fire.
Yeah, and why not? And that is Jimmy O'Malley Esquire, folks. Sorry, I kind of skipped the intros. We're also fired up. And Sean Fitzgerald, what's your take? What are your expectations, Anton Frondell, coming in? I mean, are we overhyping this thing? I don't think we are.
I don't think we are either. He's the first 18-year-old to score 20 goals or more in this Swedish Elite League, like the SWHE or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Since Daniel Sedin. He NHL, I was looking at some of the old scouting reports and stuff like that. NHL.com had him, they called him a human tank. Yep. They said he models his game after Barkov. Like this guy, they say he has a bullet of a shot. He uses his physicality and his body very, very well, which is something the Hawks desperately need.
They need puck winners. They need puck winners badly.
And they need size. They don't like Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, all their youngish forwards. They're not very big. This guy is 6'2", 200 pounds. Like he's a man.
Yeah. I mean, I understand considering how many prospects the Blackhawks have been throwing out there and how many young players they have and how hopeful some people were for certain players. But this is not Oliver Moore. This is not Frank Nazar. This is the top, in my opinion, the top forward taken in the 2025 draft. Yeah, we did talk about how we wanted Michael Misa. And yeah, Misa's a great player, and he might end up being an elite player, an elite talent. But Anton Frondell, I mean, he was the outstanding forward in the World Junior Tournament, a tournament where his country won gold. Where Sweden won gold. And then he goes and has this knockout season that 18-year-olds don't have at that level. A lot of times playing with line mates where they buried him in games, where they did not necessarily put him in positions to succeed. He's coming in with a chip on his shoulder. He's chatty. He's a rink rat. He's a puck-winning guy. He just wants to be out there. I think you're going to see this kid come out in full force, be very excited. And I do think he's going to win Blackhawk faithful over right away. The idea of him playing with Connor Bedard right away, there's a lot of talk about, Jimmy, as you mentioned, him going straight to the first line. I, for one, was hoping that it would be Bedard and Frondell and someone other than Burakovsky, other than someone who has played the last 26 games as Connor Bedard's line mate and only managed 1 goal.
But he's what I quote, he sucks.
But, Jimmy, it sounds like Burakovsky is going to probably be Connor Bedard's line mate for the rest of the season, or that's a possibility. The only reason people are speculating that is going to hold is because Jeff Blashill came out yesterday and said that at some point he wants to see Ryan Green as a center this year. The season's not getting any younger. Ryan Green ultimately will be a center on this team. I think his natural fit, and we've talked about it as a third-line center. Are you kind of resigned, Jimmy, to going into Tuesday night seeing Frondell, Bedard, and Burakovsky?
Yeah, that might just be the lines for the rest of the year. I both hate it and understand it because I personally would love to see a Frondell, Green, Bedard first line. Yep. But as Blashill has alluded to, and honestly, if we have alluded to for a long time with Ryan Green, this kid is a very good natural center. He does face-offs extremely well. He plays the prototypical third line center role. Might as well get him started there as soon as possible. And when it comes to wingers on Connor Bedard's side, when it comes to past this season, because let's be honest, we're not making the playoffs. Everyone knows this. We're going for another top 5 pick. Everyone knows this. That spot that Burakovsky is going to hold for the rest of the year is going to be wide open this summer. And you have guys like Roman Kanserov coming over. You have, Van Acker, obviously. You have Pridham. You have a wide open slot that these guys can come in. I know after the turnover by Burakovsky that cost the Blackhawks the game against Nashville, I think I yelled in the chat, can we buy him out this summer? But I think we're just resigned to that situation until more talent comes, and more talent is coming. There's no doubt about it. And again, Blackhawks with the draft lottery, that first line suddenly becomes Frondell, Bedard, McKenna, and who knows? So I'm resigned to it. I think it's better for the long run to put Ryan Green where I think everyone in this organization and every fan that has observed Ryan Green's skill set knows that for this team to win and for Ryan Green to be at his most peak efficiency on a winning Blackhawks team, he's a third line center that is killing penalties, winning faceoffs, and going up against team's best scoring lines while also providing some offense to bottom 6.
Yeah, I think, we've given a lot of credit to the Blackhawks penalty killing this year, which was second in the league as of yesterday. We've given a lot of credit to Ilya Mikheyev about it. We have not given credit due to Ryan Green on it. I mean, for someone of his age to be first unit killing penalties and be the second unit in the league is pretty remarkable for a rookie. But there's one guy's take that I want on Frondell, and he's here right now, the gatekeeper. My name's Jeff. He's here. So Jeff Osborn, co-founder of the Rink. You're on today. Welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. How fired up are you on Frondy? He's coming into town. You psyched?
He's not Peter Forsberg, right?
Yeah, I was starting to actually put an article together, something about Frondell before his season ended, and part of my whole comparison was that let's not call him Peter Forsberg or Philip Forsberg just yet. They're similar in stature as far as that goes, but let's see what he does against NHL players first. I mean, the SHL is what it is. It's like the equivalent of possibly the ECHL. So if you're getting your feathers in a ruffle because this guy scored 20 goals, that it's great. It is great, and there is some promise there. But to say he's going to step into the NHL and he's going to be the next Forsberg or he's going to be the next Barkov, let's slow down just a bit. Let's just be realistic about this. Because what happens is you cast these unrealistic expectations on people, and it happened with Bedard too. And look how good Bedard is. You cast these unrealistic expectations onto this guy, and then when he does not deliver immediately right out the box, fans are upset. Oh, the guy's a bust. You should have picked this other guy. Should have done this. It happened with Levshinov too, because he's taken longer to develop as well. You've cast all these unrealistic expectations. He's not Demidov. And then this causes a lot of angst in the fan base. Let's just sit back and relax. Let's enjoy what he does. And let's not just cast all these expectations out on him just yet. Yeah. And let's just enjoy him, let's just see him grow, and let's see what he does in game 1. And hopefully he comes out and scores 2-3 goals. I hope he becomes an absolute killer right out the box.
Yeah.
But just expecting that right off the gate, you're probably going to be disappointed. He might score a goal in his first game or 2 goals in his first 3-4 games, but then he might slow down just a little bit.
He'll get a book on him, as Ray says.
Yeah.
I know they play different positions, but Sam Renzel, remember last year, the 10 games he played, we thought he was the greatest thing ever. And then he came back this year and he struggled. Mm-hmm. And then it took him a while to kind of reestablish himself in the NHL. So, like Gates said, we almost should be prepared for Frondell to have some success and then struggle, because that's what all young people do.
And the good part about it too is he's in an adult man's body. Like he's got the strength, he's got the size. So like he is already like, Rinzel, he may have to put a little bit of weight on. Levshinov came with a man's, in a man's body.
Right.
But Connor Bedard took a little while to gain some strength and be able to play that big physical game. So, that's the good part of that. He's got a hard shot. He looks like he can compete with adults, but let's see what happens when he gets out there with adults,
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, I certainly don't think that, his debut and his progress will come without hiccups. I mean, there will definitely there could be problems along the way or learning curve and things like that. But what I really am excited about is this is not a guy where they're going to have to coach effort night in or night out. I mean, he's just a hungry hockey player. And I really think that, that Chicago is going to gravitate towards him, for those reasons and for a lot more.
He's a hungry hippo, as you were going to say.
That's what I was thinking. Hungry hippo.
Well, no, but I mean, I think it is okay to be excited about him. And I think it is, even though, there might be some learning curves, things like that. But I think he's going to be a pretty potent player in this league. I'm not going to make any comparisons. I'm not going to make any predictions or anything like that. But because I think that's just a dangerous game to play. But
yeah, and I think we're all on board that we all think he's going to be a pretty good player.
Yeah. Yep. I think he's the most excited Chicago should be about a forward since Connor Bedard.
Yes.
I think that's easy to surmise. And I think that if there were those that were excited about, Frank Nazar and Lardis and Oliver Moore, I mean, this is a more highly touted prospect than those guys as far as what he can contribute, particularly offensively. And he might be a 200-foot player ultimately. Now, there's another guy that might be getting his debut tomorrow. What's the latest, Jimmy, on Sacha? On Sacha
Boisvert. Nothing new to report from what I'm
the
seeing.
visa passes. Is he playing? I mean,
I have no idea. I've heard he's traveling with the team, like he's with the organization. They even have him sitting in on practices. It's just, there's this government shutdown. Obviously, every work visa process is different. You deal with, like, I was listening to Elliot Freeman. He was talking last Monday. He's like, every office is different. It can basically be based on how quickly you got it in, how late in the day you got the visa process in, how many people are in the office, who's taking vacation at that time. How good of a relationship do you have with the visa office? It's a lot of factors, but it's kind of just, we're in the dark until we know more.
Yeah.
The expectation based on Blashill's comments is that he will be making his debut on this 4-game road trip. He seems pretty confident that it's kind of wrapping up with the visa process. It's just, again, government shutdown. Things are really going slowly.
Who do you pay the right bribe to?
Who are you slipping 20? The work a couple hours late.
Yeah. Can I give you $100 in crypto? Can we make this problem expedited here?
Yeah, but I mean, he was here on a student visa. He was here on an F1 student visa. He did not have a working visa. This is an entirely different deal.
And Kyle Davidson has nothing to do with it, by the way.
Yeah,
I know Tab was fending off people.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know.
Blaming Kyle Davidson for the visa paperwork.
Yeah.
That's totally on Sacha and Anton Frondell.
Totally on Jamie Faulkner.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Kidding.
No. Yeah. So
it's a process. It's when you're dealing with government agencies, you're going to deal with inefficiency, and you just got to wait.
Bureaucracy is there for a reason. It's
now Sacha Boisvert will be wearing number 12. What are your guesses on Frondell's number? I'm going with 16. He's worn 14, 15, 16 in his career. Let's go around the room. Sean, what do you think?
I will take 15.
Jeff, Gate.
I'm expecting 16.
Like it. Jimmy?
Oh, I'm going 14.
14.
I think I know that's Korchinski's number, but Who knows about Korchinski's long-term plan here?
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be 14. They might tell Korchinski, like, hey, you're going to have to find your
What was
third
Reichel's
number?
number? Whatever that was, don't give it to him.
Reichel was 27, then 72, and now he's in Boston on 75. I don't know what his number was in Vancouver. You couldn't see him out there.
Yeah. But he's a scoring machine in Boston.
That is first game, got 2 points. Yeah. They'll
He's
find
been
One goal on a misplay.
Well, then they'll probably be signing James Higgins any day now, and then that might be the it for Reichel. He might be heading down to Providence. We'll see.
Yeah, and what's holding up Higgins though is, from what I heard from Colby Cohen on the sheet today, I think Higgins' agent is negotiating with Don Sweeney in regards to coming to the big club right away, as opposed to having to go to Providence. He doesn't want to go to Providence, which Sweeney
Boston
is known
fans are
for
freaking out. I saw it on Twitter this morning.
Yeah, what's interesting about that though is if you're the Bruins though, I mean, you do want to be careful with this. I mean, has anyone looked at the standings in the East? I mean, it is a gridlock.
Yeah, Detroit, Columbus, they're all battling for that last wild card spot.
Right. So you throw an unknown in there. I mean, granted, he's a hell of a hockey player, but if he has growing pains, and a lot of those will be in his own zone, that's why you might want to have him playing in Providence a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. See what happens there. Now, will any of these guys, Jimmy, do you think, being the Providence guru that you are, do you see Sacha Boisvert or Frondell playing in Rockford this year, being the Rockford guru you are? You can be a Providence guru too. We're fine with that. Maybe they'll help out with the playoff run. I mean, they're waiver exempt, I would assume, this early in their career, so they could.
Are the Ice Hawks making the playoffs?
No,
I was just about to push back on that. They're in a tough spot. They're 6 points out of a playoff spot, and Milwaukee, who is the team above them for the 5 seed in the Central, has 3 games in hand on them. It's not impossible, but it would take, at this point, genuinely a miracle.
Okay,
I think the Ice Hogs.
So they're one over the million.
I don't think you would send anyone to the Ice Hogs for the idea of, let's have them for a playoff run, because realistically, Rockford is not going to have a playoff run this year. It's unfortunate, but they're not strong enough of a team to make it. So Sacha and Frondell, I think they're going to spend the rest of the year with the Blackhawks, and then conversations will probably be had over the summer about where Boisvert is going to start. I lean towards him maybe starting the season in the AHL. It just depends on the bottom 6 depth going into next season, if the Blackhawks sign anyone or if they make any big trades.
Well, and then you got guys like Spellacy and others that will be.
He seems like a guy that could go to Rockford. Van Acker seems like a guy that could go to Rockford. Pridham could be a guy going to Rockford. A couple other guys, in college or in juniors that are now old enough to go to the AHL. It could make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Maybe the Blackhawks are like, hey, we want to put a lot of kids in Rockford, and Sacha could be that guy. Now, Frondell, I really think he's going to stay in the NHL next season. I think he's just that good. I think he's that seasoned. He's already had, 2 years in the Swedish Pro League. I don't think he'd be overwhelmed by NHL talent.
Yeah.
I don't even see if Frank Nazar or Oliver Moore would start him in the AHL for a half a dozen games and send him up. I really think he's ready to go out of the gate, but we'll see.
Out of the gate, out of the Jeff Osborn.
Out of the gatekeeper.
Out of the gatekeeper.
I think the reason why though is his size. He's
a man.
Yeah, he's a man. He doesn't need to adjust to the North American style of play.
Yeah.
He's also gained 10 pounds from when he was drafted. He was at like 198 when he was drafted. He's like 208 now.
He's 208 as an 18-year-old.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Jeez.
That's why the human tank analogy seems apropos.
I mean, that is a big, big dude. Holy smokes. Well, speaking of future plans, I'm going to ask the gatekeeper how he feels about this one. With everything that is going on, there's so many rumors out there about players that are going to be on the move this summer in the NHL, and a lot of those rumors have been associated with the Blackhawks, because the Blackhawks have a lot to give. back. They have a lot to give back in terms of prospects and picks to any of those teams that are looking to shed a little bit of cap. You hear Matthew Nyes' name being thrown out there. You hear Jason Robertson's name being thrown out there. I had a guy ask me the other day, he said, well, why won't the Toronto Maple Leafs just try to trade Matthews if they really want to rebuild this thing? Gate, is it time to, I wouldn't say no, but Gate, is it time to fan the flames a little bit? Or do you see this as a reality? Do you think this is the summer that the Blackhawks actually go hunting in the trade market?
Whether they will or not is debatable. I think they should. I think this is the time. You've got young guys that have a little bit of experience.
Yep.
They saw a little bit of success at the beginning of the season when they were doing real well. I think now is the time where you find that Hossa maybe, or that Brian Campbell maybe, that Dale Talon found to kind of push those young kids over the edge a little bit. I just think they need somebody that has a little bit of NHL experience, success, and experience in the NHL. You can't go all kids. You can't go all inexperienced.
So does that eliminate Matthew Nyes?
I don't know.
You said success. You said success. So
he's 24. How old is he? I mean, he's not as young as springtime anymore. Well, he's 23.
No, and he went through college too. So he probably, when did he come up? 23-ish, maybe?
I mean, he's in his second full season in the NHL. Wow. I mean, he has 29 goals. Last year, he had 29 goals. He's in his third full season in the NHL right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We mean success by like personal success, not
team
success.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was being an ass. So let's be honest.
So yeah, I'm like, you have to bring somebody in, and you're not going to be able to do it through UFA through at least the next couple of years, because everybody can sign their UFAs.
Right.
So you're going to have to find somebody who's disgruntled, or a team that's looking to make some changes. And how many of those are going to be, and if you have to overpay a little bit, then you have to overpay a little bit. It's just going to have to be a thing, because you don't have any other choices. Before, back in the, Kane and Taves start of the dynasty, you would overpay through free agency. You had to give Ryan Campbell extra money or extra years, or Marian Hossa, you had to give them those extra years to entice them to come join this. But now all you have is extra draft picks and stuff, because it's not going to be through free agency. They're going to sign those players. So I think they have to go out there and probably make a deal. I don't know if they will, though. Right now everybody seems to be afraid of making that move. They toss away a good draft pick or something like that.
Well, it's interesting. I don't think this is Connor Bedard's style at all. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy. I obviously don't know his agent. I'm not in the room whenever anyone's talking to anyone about anything, but Connor Bedard is due for a big raise this summer. He's going into his fourth season next year. I would honestly love for him to hold Chicago's feet to the fire a little bit and say, hey, look, what's going on here? Are we going to try to go out and get better this summer? I think it's totally a fair question. Or am I going to have to be playing with Andre, for the next 2 years while all these other kids develop? I mean, is the goal that we're trying to make the playoffs next year, or is the goal that we're trying to go for this whole thing in 2029? I do think that if they're going to be making moves, I think some of Chicago's prospects some of which we all really like, need to be involved in a big move if it's available. I mean, I do think we talked at one point on a pod, if Robertson was available and you did a first 1 year, a first another year, and then someone like Oliver Moore, would you do it? And you need to think about that. You absolutely have to think about that. You have to think about throwing Nick Lardis in there if there's a 26-year-old Jason Robertson available.
Who could score 35 or 40 goals, and know it. Is Oliver Moore going to give that to your lineup? No, he's not. He's a nice player. He is what he is. Yeah. And you'd like to have him around, but you're like, if you're comparing Oliver Moore to Jason Robertson, there's no comparison.
Yeah. And Dr. Holiday, thank you for your comment. I would agree with you. It might just be one big move or one move of significance. It doesn't need to be a bunch of small moves.
We're your Huckleberry on that one.
Yeah. So great. Yeah. Not bad, Sean. That was actually pretty good.
Work.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Attaboy, Sean. There you go.
Well, Sean, who would you be willing to part ways with that's a prospect and not a pick? If it meant a player of Jason Robinson's caliber, if it meant a Matthew Nyes, if it meant someone like that. This guy's awesome.
You don't know Daisy at all.
Yeah, well played. Well played.
So,
Come on.
Come on. Sadly, he was too high strung. The strain was more than he could bear.
Oh, my he only goes so far. Anyway, Sean.
So I would, Oliver Moore seems like somebody I'd part ways with. I'd even part ways with Nick Lardis. It seems like Blashill has a hard time trusting him right now. Like moving him to the second line after how many games on the fourth line, and finally the second line with Lardis, Nazar, and Bertuzzi generated a goal the other night. So I would definitely be willing to part with Lardis, and then Korchinski. I think Korchinski's got to be one of those guys that you think about moving if the deal is right, because he's already falling behind in the defensive prospect rankings. He's not going to be waiver eligible next year, so he has to pass through waivers. The Hawks could theoretically take another defenseman with either their top pick, or hopefully the way Florida's trending, will get Florida's pick this year.
Yeah, but I think that's one of those things. So if you move Korchinski, you have to have another defenseman ready. You almost have to pick up another D-man. A draft pick defenseman wouldn't be ready. Wouldn't be able to play. I don't know who played.
But even Del Mastro also is waiver eligible next year, so you have to keep him on the NHL roster or lose him for nothing too. So one of those guys is going to have to go.
Either that, or you watch Grzelcyk walk out the door, and those guys are your 6-7 guys.
Well, you saw the hit the other night. He's not walking anywhere right now.
I got you. Jimmy, what do you think? I mean, I think Korchinski is going to start next year with the team. He has to because of the waiver status. Like, you can't send him down to Rockford, or you have to waive him. Isn't that how that works? Because of where his contract is. And so would you deal him even if it meant packaging him in a blockbuster piece, but you leave that left side a little bit more barren than it is already?
I mean, I would, because at this point, the Blackhawks, you can go into next season with Vlasic and Kaiser as your 1-2 on the left side. And you could go into free agency about, I just need a third pairing left-handed defenseman. I don't have the list of free agents in front of me, but I'm sure you could find one that can competently play 10 to 12 minutes a night on the left side, sharing the third pairing with, I don't know, could be Crevier, could be Renzel, one of those two. And I think you could get competent play. In terms of prospects willing to give up, it's honestly easier to name ones that I'd want to keep. And it's a shorter list than you expect. To me, it's Artie, it's Renzel, it's Frondell, it's Nazar, and it's the Blackhawks' first pick in the 2026 draft, which will probably be top 5. Those are probably the only things I'm saying I am not letting anyone talk to me about. And I'll add Ryan Green to the list as well. I would put
Green in there too.
I would put Green. I think he is solidifying himself as a long-term 3C on this team. But like, as we talked more, I do like, but who knows if you can get Jason Robertson. I mean, Nick Lardis, same thing. I like Van Acker. I like Nestrasil. Boisvert's in there. Mason West, other former first-round picks.
Ooh,
and then you have Pridham. Pridham and Van Acker 1 and 2 in the OHL in scoring. I dangle them out there because.
Would you deal Guyan?
Yeah.
What was that?
Would you deal Adam Guyan?
I wouldn't.
I was just saying it to get a rise out of gate there, but I wouldn't either.
Well, no, I'm not even a goalie. I wouldn't deal that.
No,
it's hard to trade goalies.
Because
especially going into next year, you have to re-sign Komet, and he'll probably be waiver exempt. So I think he'll probably be in the NHL. I have a feeling that Soderblom might be traded or waived or sent through waivers. It's been the last year of his contract in the AHL.
Can he be loaned out too, like they did with Cristobal Huet? They could loan him
but then
out.
Who do you have in the AHL? You have Breznoi, who is still serving a suspension. You have Rodriguez, who's not signed past next year. Do you want an open spot for a guy like Guyan? Do you think he's ready to move from college? I think he probably needs another year in Minnesota Duluth.
Yeah, I think he should. but he's
do you
really,
want-
it seems like he's starting to figure it out, you know,
he's
and
progressing nicely. And then, of course, there's that kid. I forget his name off the top of my head. 2025, you draft him in the 7th round. He's a goalie out of Russia.
Oh no,
not Flores.
Flores.
He's in Russia right now.
Oh,
he's a dog. Like he's playing in the Russian Junior League.
Ilya Kanarski. I'm sure I butchered that.
I think that's it. He's playing extremely well. And
it's got a 922 or 922 save percentage in the Russian VHL.
And he's playing extremely well.
Well,
I don't think either of those guys, I could say, are ready to make the jump to the AHL, but still, trading any of them, it's just like the Blackhawks goalie prospect depth. I don't want to say it's thin, but like you get rid of one of them and suddenly it is thin.
It's just, that's it right there. I mean, it all of a sudden just
it goes from like, oh, you have Spencer Knight, you have Comesso, you have Guyan, and then Konarski in Russia. He's looks like a hidden gem in the 7th to like, oh man, 25% of that pool is gone.
Yeah, I don't think you trade second round pick goaltenders before they've even auditioned.
No, for sure. I was just, we're throwing out prospects.
No.
We're like Detroit trading Sebastian Kosa or Trey Augustine. Like imagine they traded. Like that'd be wild.
So I would. It's funny. Yeah, I would put Adam Guyan on the list of non-starter, non-negotiables.
Yep.
I wouldn't mess with him right now. Let's hope.
But there's so many forwards and even former first-round picks that I'd be like, yeah, I'd listen. I'd listen for Nestor Stowe. I'd listen on Mason West. I'd listen on Boisvert. I'd listen on Derek Van Acker, especially if like the conversation is Nyes or Robertson or Robert Thomas. Like, yeah, like those are guys that you can, in the case of Nyes and Thomas, you come with skill and term and, are in their 20s. Or in the case of Robertson, still in his 20s, and I can control how much money he gets paid because I get to negotiate with him.
Right. You got the RFA rights.
And we haven't even mentioned guys like Mustard or Spellacy.
Right.
You got guys like that. There's a lot of people. Nathan Beam.
There's so many. Yeah. I think I made a tweet that, like, in terms of first and second round picks that Kyle Davidson has made and will make over the next 2 years, he has like a roster and a half. Like, you got to eventually just ship guys out, like, because you're going to have a Dominic James situation where guys are going to go, hey, I don't have room here. Like, I need to leave. I need to find someplace else to play. Right. It's not going to be just.
And he
Dominic
was actually
James.
A pretty good pick. He went right to the NHL with Tampa. Was really good with them until he got hurt.
He is. And other guys are going to probably do that. So if you don't deal them and get something back on your investment, you're going to lose guys like Dominic James for nothing. So there's a very serious situation where you almost are cornering yourself into a situation where you have to make the big swing, not because there's pressure to perform, but because there's pressure to not lose prospects for nothing.
Yeah.
But also you're going to have to start letting go of people that maybe you really do like, but because you have so many people and who's going to, who are other teams going to take back, they're not going to take this Martin Misiak or something like that. They're going to want something of quality.
I mean, if Sam Bowman's still in charge of Edmonton, sure.
Right. I mean, if Jason Robertson is being shopped, they're not, the return is not going to be dust. I mean, it's going to be like
especially
you said,
in division, they're going to get their pound of flesh.
Right.
But they're not going to get as much as you think because you still have to pay him. Like it's not going to be, you're not going to pay double because you still have to pay Jason Robertson. Like you still have to give him a contract. So you could use that as a negotiating point. Be like, we have to pay him money that you don't want to pay him.
Right.
So we're not going to give you as much as if he was under term and it was a palatable deal. At least that's my opinion on that.
No, but I mean, my preference would be, like we talked about, if Gate, I think you said it really well. You said they should entertain this. Will they? Who knows? I mean, only they know. But you can't keep hitting the cap floor with what they've been doing. I mean, you have if you can hit the cap floor by acquiring a real player that's part of your plans and not just someone you're going to plug in there. And that's why, kind of to my point, I was hoping that, I hope with the signing of Bedard's like, yeah, well, I mean, are we committed to doing this thing and we're ready to roll for next year? We might need some spare parts out there, which they do, which they definitely do.
Yeah, it's time to move forward, and fans are going to get sick because, like, the Ducks have made a step forward, and allegedly the Sharks have. They were in the mix for a little while, but if you look at they're so top heavy. If you look at their underlying numbers,
but even look at the Ducks. The Ducks lead the division with a negative goal differential. Like they're the only team in the division with a negative.
I agree with all this.
I like Connor McDavid's quote about the Pacific Division. I think he called it a pillow fight.
Yeah, pillow fight is what he said.
Did he really?
How much
he said that yesterday.
No one's really swinging hard.
Yeah,
I really agree with all of this, but the fact is, to the fans, they look
it
like
doesn't matter. Right.
It looks people want to go watch these teams because they look like they're on the verge of something. Yeah. The Blackhawks aren't, and at some point you have to the cream has to rise a little bit.
It's funny you say that, Gate, though. Like, the attendance has actually been really good for the Hawks lately. Like, Ben Pope always posts the attendance tracker. They had their 6th sellout of the season on Friday night. Or no, Sunday. On Sunday. So, like, people are starting to come around. I think what you say, though, they need something to, like, jumpstart it to really push from 6 sellouts to, like, 15 or 20 or, like, get them to the next level of fan engagement and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think a big splash would help that. Put them
across for sure.
The front page.
You bring in a big name like a Jason Robertson or whatever, Matthew Nyes, you could sell that to the fan base.
That would be huge.
And if they could start off strong next year like they did last year, like they might be able to continue this with Frondell and Canceroff, and you got more depth in the system, youth and speed and size. Like, this could be the stepping stone to that next level. But I don't think they could do it without making some kind of move, bringing somebody in to kind of push them over the edge.
Yeah. And you have to have the goal of making the postseason next year. That has to be the goal. They can't keep missing and telling people we're almost there. We're almost there. I mean,
believe in the process. Believe in the process. People are sick of that.
If you told me in May of 2022 or whenever Bedard was drafted, 2022, 2023, I don't know. One of those years. I think it was 2023. At any rate, going into his 4th season, if you told me in his 4th season that the Hawks still had not made the playoffs yet, I'd consider that a failure. When he was drafted. I mean, and so next year you got to make it. You got to get in. You got to
get destroyed in the first round. You got to get in.
Fine, but you got to get in. You need to consistently compete and find your way into the playoffs. Maybe they should join
that cliche that they always say: play important games late in the season.
Yep.
Even if they're not going to make it, at least be close. Let's make it a dogfight. Let's do something.
Yeah.
Give the fans something to cheer about. We don't have. They haven't had that in so long.
No.
Yeah. No, they really haven't.
Oh, by the way, I have a trivia question when you guys want one.
Cool. Why don't we I mean, we can do your trivia right now, and then we can kind of get into if there's anything Rockford related, and then parting shots and shout outs. If that makes sense. Does that sound good to all? Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy did not like that idea.
Apparently not. No. All right. Well, Jimmy, let's see. Okay, so the question is, so Tyler Bertuzzi and Connor Bedard on the verge of being 30 goal scorers this season. When is the last time the Blackhawks had 2 30-goal scorers on their roster, and can you name those players? So it's a 2-part question.
I want to say 2001, 2002, and the names are Steve Sullivan and Eric Daze.
They've had 30-goal scorers after that time. 2 of them, yes. They've had.
So it's not Kane and Taves. Or could be.
It is not Kane and Taves.
How about Kane and Sharp?
It is not Kane and Sharp. It is, let's see, I believe it is Kane, one of them, but it's another name that very obscure. I'll give you the year, 2016, 2017.
Oh, Artemi.
That's not obscure.
Yeah, Artemi Panarin.
That was Panarin, but I believe there was one after that.
Well, he was actually 15-16. Artemi Panarin.
Yeah. Hold on.
A very
Make
obscure.
sure I got. Yep. He played only a few years with the Hawks, and then he left and went to the Detroit Red Wings.
Hi, Jimmy.
In
Hi,
2017, he played for the Hawks and then left to go to the Detroit Red Wings.
After his 2 seasons with the Hawks.
Is it Inigo Montoya? No. Okay.
No.
Is this a trivia
not.
question?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
You
the
can repeat
question?
it, Sean, for Jimmy. He might know.
Okay, so the Tyler Bertuzzi and Connor Bedard are on the verge of being the first 30 goal scorers for the Hawks, 2 of them since 2016, 2017. Can you name the 2 goal scorers that scored 30 goals that year?
For the Blackhawks?
Yes.
Okay. 2016-17. It has to be Kane and Panarin, right?
That's what we
Okay,
thought.
maybe I have the wrong. Sorry.
Because Kane and Panarin was 15 and 16, and then he was gone after that, wasn't he?
No, he's
I thought
16-17
so.
was his last year.
Oh, he's 16, 17? All right, so we already tried that one. I know it's not Anisimov. That can't possibly be.
Nope, he was
I don't think it's
Czech-born. Had 2 seasons with the Hawks.
Born.
It's very obscure.
Thomas Yurko? No.
No,
Michael Hanzus.
It's not Panik, is it? Richard Panik?
it is not Richard Panik.
No.
DFP.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
It's 1920. I'm sorry. It was 1920 was the year.
Oh.
1920
Yep.
in the year. Okay.
Do you know it?
Oh,
29.
Kubalik.
Dominic Kubalik. Yep. Dominic Kubalik.
I've
All
got
right,
his jersey in my closet.
Oh, yeah,
And
but
Patrick Kane.
he had the year way off.
I
that
apologize.
means everything.
From 15-16 to 1920.
All right. So I dropped the ball on that one.
No, it's all right. Kubalik. Yeah, he was. Wow, what's he doing now? Is he in Europe?
He was
somewhere?
with Ottawa for a while. I think he went back overseas.
Yeah, he's not that old, actually. He's only 30, and he's playing in the Swiss A
Wow.
currently. He
Does
played
he play
last
the
year in
same
the
league
NHL,
as Frondell did?
23, 24. He played for, I can't say those names.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Any shout outs out there, guys? I've got one. If that's cool. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the fans of North Andover, Massachusetts and their team. Because if you are a college hockey fan and you live in Boston, downtown Boston, you've got Harvard, you've got Northeastern, you've got BU,
Merrimack?
you've got Boston College. If you live in North Andover, Massachusetts, as I do, you've got the MAC.
Yep.
Merrimack College, 8th seed in the Hockey East tournament, wins the Hockey East tournament. Their goalie, by the way, Max Lundgren, that guy will sign an NHL contract the moment their season's over. Stan Bowman sitting there going, come on, finish. I will put all me chips that he'll be in Edmonton if they lose on Thursday night. They play Nodak on Thursday night, so I don't know. I mean, who knows if they can continue the miracle run, but North Andover, Massachusetts and Merrimack College, congrats on their first ever Hockey East championship. And actually in college hockey, Dartmouth College just won their first ever ECAC championship and had not been in the ECAC championship game in 46 years.
Wow.
So I guess, Pierre, college hockey isn't watered down. Pretty good right about now.
Merrimack College. Famous alumni, Colin Delia.
And
Blackhawks legend.
Blackhawks
Colin
legend.
Delia went to
Still
Merrimack
playing.
College.
He's still playing. He's in Europe. He's
Yeah,
playing.
he is.
The semifinals in the Albany, New York regional in the NCAA hockey tournament will be Minnesota Duluth with Adam Guyan and Penn State with Gavin McKenna.
That'll
So we'll
be
get
good.
to see Guyan go up against.
Blackhawk Evan McKenna when they win the draft.
I hope so. I know Gate is very excited about that too. So
I was at the Big Ten semifinal last weekend. Penn State against University of Michigan. And if the Blackhawks have the number 1 overall pick, I don't know how you pass on McKenna.
Yeah.
No.
I was watching that game at a bar, and it was awesome.
I was Stenberg. I was Ivar Stenberg all the way, but Gavin McKenna's probably going to go number 1. I don't think at that point in time you are thinking about fit. You take the
best available player.
Yeah. And I mean, when they were on the power play, when it was 4-on-4, I mean, it was ridiculous. He was the best player on the ice by far. So, yeah, pretty cool. And any more shout outs, mentions, anything of that fabric?
I guess I want to say kind of a downer, but our thoughts and condolences to Jesse Pierce's family.
That was just awful,
super tragic over the weekend. Tragic. So
yeah.
I actually came across Jesse's stuff on TikTok, part of the Bar Down Beauties podcast that she was a part of. So that's how I came across her stuff. Everyone's writing articles and sharing stories, and I guess she was just genuinely like a really good person. So that's really sad.
That is a human tragedy. That's that's brutal. And also there are rumors in the wind that the Blackhawks, that Chicago might be in the market and might be acquiring a PWHL team.
Yeah,
not confirmed. And then it kind of hit on the Twitter world, and then people said, "Now wait a minute, this probably isn't going to happen," because the first rumor was that they'd be playing where the Chicago Steel were, and
that's
then
only
but then
2,000 seat arena,
2,000 people, and the PWHL is doing really, really well.
Yeah.
So I don't. There wouldn't be a world where they commit to playing in an arena that small.
Maybe they practice there.
Yeah, but if you can make room for them at I don't know,
All-State would be perfect for them.
All-State, can you make room for that? I don't know if you could do the United Center when you've got 2 basketball teams already and an NHL team.
You might want to gauge the interest first. Maybe that's where they just dip their toe in the water and say, "Hey, we got this brand new, beautiful arena that's state of the art. Let's just try it out. And if it doesn't work out and you guys need a bigger arena, we'll work on that. We've got arenas here. The Sears Center. Look at the Sears Center.
That'd be a good place.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, that's not too far.
The Sears Center would actually be awesome, but they should have a team. They should definitely have a team.
Yeah.
It's time, and the league is doing really, really well, and women's hockey is so exciting.
And I think Vegas is
won again.
Badgers won, and 4 women from the U.S. Olympic team were on the Badgers that won the national championship. So they won the gold medal before the national championship.
Tough deal. That's cool. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Yeah, but that would be awesome if that comes to fruition. So, Jimmy, any other parting shots, words of wisdom before we close up shop for the night?
Couple things in Rockford.
Rock Vegas.
Congratulations to Chase Defoe. He was a college free agent signing out of the University of Alaska Fairbanks. First career game, professional game against the Rosemont Wolves. 2 goals in his debut. This is a big kid, big center. I mean, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. I mean, he'll probably be at his age, bottom 6 guy in the AHL, but he came out swinging 2 goals in his debut. Good for him. Little bit of extra Rockford news. Rockford, they announced today they have re-signed Jamie Engelbert to a contract extension that runs through next year. Now, Engelbert, this is his first year in the AHL. He actually played with Coach Nightingale in the ECHL with the South Carolina Stingrays, so there's a little bit of familiarity there, but he's got 8 goals, 17 assists in 60 games this year. He's been holding it down in the bottom 6 in Rockford. So Chase Defoe and Jamie Engelbert, those are 2 guys to pay attention to if you like good old bottom 6 AHL hockey players. They fit the role, man. I love this Chase Defoe guy.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff.
United Collegiate Cup champion for the University of Alaska.
There you go. Well, and also we haven't mentioned yet. We said his name, but Merrick Van Acker, Blackhawks 2024 first round pick, 27th overall, finished the season with the Brantford Bulldogs in the OHL with 47 goals, leading the OHL in goals. That's the second year in a row that a Blackhawk prospect has led the OHL in goals. Nick Lardis last year doing it. I think the more intriguing part of that, or I don't know if it's more intriguing or not, but the Van Acker doing it at age 19, a little bit different than Lardis doing it at 20. a little bit younger, but at the same time, I mean, those Brantford Bulldogs and the Chicago Blackhawks, there does seem to be a connection there. And
Jack Pridham had 46 goals.
Yeah, Jack Pridham finished second with the Kitchener Rangers with 46 goals. So Blackhawks prospects doing well throughout junior hockey, which is awesome. And you never know, those Brantford Bulldogs, they've got another draft eligible candidate that might be on the tip of the Blackhawks' tongues. Caleb Malhotra, who's Jimmy has referenced before, center iceman who will probably go in the top 5. Decent chance that he'll go in the top 5. And considering who the Blackhawks are and the Brantford Bulldogs and that connection, he might be coming to the Windy City too. We'll see. It'll be so interesting how that lottery falls and where the Blackhawks fall in it and what they choose to prioritize. I don't know if they do make a trade splash and acquire a premier forward. Do they go defenseman with that pick, Sean, as you mentioned? It should be interesting to see if they ended up with number 3 and both Gavin McKenna and Ivar Stenberg are no longer on the board and they're at 3. Do they dip their toes in Keaton Verhoff or another defenseman if they have Chase Reed, or if their plans are to acquire an NHL ready forward via trade? I don't know. We'll see. Smarter people are making those decisions.
That guy from Europe, Smits.
Yes, Smits will be in the conversation too. So I don't know. Should be interesting, but a lot of stuff going on in Blackhawk hockey, despite the fact that they don't have a playoff ready team
and they can't win in overtime.
I don't. I don't want to watch more overtime games. Those are just.
I forget what the movie was, but Ben Pope basically said the difference between the Blackhawks and the Sharks and Ducks is
overtime.
Yeah, like they're 7-13 in overtime, and the Ducks and Sharks are legit just flipped. Sharks, Ducks, I think are like 14-8. I think Sharks are like 12-9. I mean, that's the difference between this Blackhawks team being a playoff contender, like the Ducks and Sharks, and not being it. Is just flipping those games, and I think it has a lot to do with not just talent, but the personnel on the ice. Like we talked about it. Like why was Burakovsky on the ice on the 3-on-3? I feel like it was just Blashill experimenting.
And then when Bertuzzi was on the ice on a 3-on-3, I love Tyler Bertuzzi and he's had a fantastic season. But you have to have your best skaters on the ice in 3-on-3 hockey. And that's not his strength. And I don't know.
Imagine a overtime end of this year. First Blackhawks on the ice are Bedard, Frondell, and Rinsell. That's some speed out there, man.
Yeah.
Those are some skaters.
Yeah. So
now I want overtime. Sorry, Sean. Now I do want overtime. I just want to see that.
I just want to see them win overtime. I only want overtime if they're winning. I don't care.
The CHSN Blackhawks podcast threw out this, and I want this now. I want Louis Crevier in the power play. Just give him a chance for quarterback and let him unleash that howitzer. Just why not, right? Let it rip.
I'd put him on the wall. I don't know that I have him quarterback in the power play. I'd put him on the wall and set him up for a one-timer.
Well, I mean, just let's unleash the shot on the power play. What's the worst?
Put him in where they always park Ovechkin for power plays, just right on that left dot, and just be like, all right, one-timer by Crevier, one-timer by Crevier, one-timer by Crevier. Let's see what happens.
Like who is the guy who had 4 one-time? Was it Alex Tuck?
Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, that was really.
He wouldn't stop shooting.
I love me some Tage Thompson.
Yeah.
Remember early in the year we were talking about possibly getting him for like the Blackhawks, and
he's not going anywhere now.
Nope.
What is their record since like Thanksgiving or something? Or their record, and
they're the best.
A lot of wins to little losses.
Yeah, they've lost like 6 games since Thanksgiving or something crazy like that.
Them and Columbus are like the 2 hottest teams on the planet.
But good for Buffalo. Buffalo's a hockey.
I love.
We all
the Swords needed it.
I'm a Buffalo fan, man. I'm low key a Buffalo fan. Like I love their old uniforms, the blue and gold.
Yeah, their uniforms are the best non-original 6 jerseys out there. I mean,
they've got some good players.
Buffalo is they're the only team whose jerseys they completely changed the color scheme. I was like, wow, they're both amazing. Because sometimes the Ducks and the Kings would change their color scheme. Like these new color schemes suck. Buffalo went, we'll go from blue and gold to black and red. I'm like, holy crap, these both rock.
Yeah, and it works.
None of these jerseys stink.
Yeah.
And they got some good players on that team too.
Oh gosh,
They're great.
Rasmus
I love
Dahlin,
Dahlin,
Owen
man.
Power, like
Well, and
Tuck,
to all you
Paige
Hawk
Thompson.
fans out there who are like, "Oh, well, we don't want to be like Buffalo." Well,
I kind of want to be like.
here you
Buffalo
go,
right
folks.
now.
I'd love to be like Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
You know, so. All right. Well, tomorrow night's a big night, folks. Or we hope. We haven't heard that it's official yet. We hope Frondell's in the lineup. We hope Boisvert's in the lineup. We'll see. But
No more Dominic Toninato.
no.
Whoa, that's Rockford Ice Hawks leading scorer Dominic Toninato to you. You watch him out.
Yeah, it's Mr. Iceman to you. All right. All right. Well, before I utter any more really, really bad jokes, thanks for listening, folks. Have a good one. Go Hawks. Hey, they're playing a red hot New York Islander team tomorrow.
Matthew Schaefer.
It'll be fun to watch Matthew Schaefer. Hopefully he won't carve up the Hawks tomorrow.
Calder Trophy lock, Matthew
Calder
Schaefer.
Trophy lock, Matthew
I
Schaefer.
thought Demidov was going to win it.
Yeah.
and possible Vezina winner, Ilya Sorokin.
Possible. He
Yeah.
has 7 shutouts. So I think he runs away
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
That's the only award voted on by the teams, right? Or coaches. It's not voted on by the media, I think. The
No
Vezina.
idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the only one voted on by the coaches or the managers.
Well, he's got that locked up.
When's the last time a team had both the Calder and the Vezina on the same
Oh,
team?
there's trivia next week right there,
That's a
Jimmy.
good trivia. I'll try to look that up.
At Belfour?
Ooh.
Ooh, the
He
same
won
guy.
both, yeah. And that
Oh,
might
yeah, that's
be that might
right.
be it.
Hey,
1990.
no.
Belfour, baby.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent on a no
And he was the Jennings, and I think he won another award that year too. He cleaned house that year.
Yeah.
Did
Well, are there any other Vezina Calder Trophy winners?
Did Carey Price win it?
Dryden? No.
I know Dryden won the Conn Smythe before he technically qualified as a rookie, as did Patrick Waugh.
Yep.
So only 4 goaltenders have won both the Vezina Trophy and the Calder Memorial Rookie of the Year. Frank Brimzik, 1938-39. Tony Esposito,
Tony,
1970. Tom Barrasso in 83-84. And Ed Belfour as the gatekeeper just mentioned. So the last Vezina Calder Trophy winner. Now, we don't know if other teams have had the Vezina and Calder Trophy winner at 2 different positions like that will happen this year. But that'll be something fun for someone to dig up. Maybe our guys in the war room could look into that right now. Are there any Vezina Calder Trophy winners on the same team? Let's see. The price of knowledge is cheap with Google these days. What do we got? No. Well, none that I can find by Googling. So we'll just stick with Tony O, Tommy Barrasso, Ed Belfour, and Frankie Brimzik. Kopecky. What's going on?
That's what's his guess in the 40 goal scores.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Thomas
I don't think
Kopecky.
Kopecky ever scored 40 goals in his entire career.
I thought it was 30.
No.
Maybe the thing?
30. It was 30.
Yeah, it was 30, but whatever.
Yeah. At any rate.
Can't even get your trivia question right.
No,
Jimmy,
but
I
we-
can't see you. You're like in the sun.
Very light in the back.
Yeah.
of the thing.
I feel like I'm like, am I dying? Am I seeing the light?
Hold on.
Like,
If
what's
I
going on?
lower, I get a little halo. There we go. Yeah, there we
Okay,
go.
Beyonce, calm down.
All right. Who was traded on this day in Blackhawks history in 1999?
On this day?
Mhm.
Jeez.
1999, the Blackhawks made a blockbuster trade. And who did they trade and to who? And everyone was ticked off about it.
Was this Chelios to the Red Wings?
Oh, this
Chris
was a
Chelios.
Chelios one, yeah.
1999.
I saw it today.
Yeah, I saw your
Chelios
post on it.
was traded to the hated Detroit Red Wings. It was the first time that the teams had done business in decades because they hated each other so much. And the return on Chris Chelios, who ended up playing at least 10 more years after that, 10 more years
Yeah,
plus.
yeah.
Anders
Eriksson.
a first round pick in 1999 that ended up being Steve McCarthy, and another first round pick in 2001 who turned out to be Adam Monroe. So, boy, were those some lean years. Oh, that hurts.
Ugh.
Chelios, of course, went on to win 2 more cups in Detroit, and yeah, that was awesome. Anyway, All right, folks, we're closing up shop for the night. We're approaching the hour mark. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, Dr. Holiday, for your comments. Awesome to see you. Gate, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, on behalf of the regulars, Shawnee, Jimmy, Gatekeeper, I'm Andy Campbell. Everyone have a good night. Go Hawks. Watch for Frondell tomorrow night. We'll see ya.